There's a moment when something feels wrong, but you ignore it because it's easier to believe it's nothing until it happens again.
It started with a photo, just one, saved on her phone. She had no memory of taking it. First, she thought it was nothing, a mistake, something she did half asleep and forgot. The photo showed her room, her bed, her desk, the chair by the window. Everything looked exactly as it always did. Nothing seemed wrong, except the angle. It wasn't taken from where she usually stood, not from the bed, not from the doorway. It was taken from the corner, high enough that she would have noticed if she had been there. She stared at it longer than she expected, trying to remember the moment, trying to force the memory back. Nothing came. She checked the time. 2:47 a.m. She was asleep at that time. At least, she thought she was. She locked her phone and put it away, but the feeling stayed. The next day, she almost forgot about it. Work distracted her. Messages, calls, normal things. Until that evening, she opened her gallery again. There was another photo. Her heart dropped. Same room, same angle, but this time she was in it, sleeping, facing the wall, her hands slightly raised, like she was about to move, like the photo was taken just a second before she woke up. She felt something tighten in her chest. She tried to explain it. Maybe she sleepwalked. Maybe she woke up, took the photo and went back to bed. But it didn't feel right. The angle was wrong. The position was wrong. Everything about it felt intentional. She scrolled, and then she stopped breathing. There were more. 5, 10, 17, all taken at night, all between 2:40 and 3 a.m., all from the same place. Her hands started shaking.
And this is the part most people get wrong. They think fear comes from not knowing, but it doesn't. It comes when things start making sense.
Some of them were almost identical, but others were different. In one, she was sitting on the edge of the bed, looking directly into the camera, her face expressionless, still, focused. She stared at that one the longest. She didn't remember waking up. She didn't remember sitting there. But the worst part wasn't the position. It was the expression. It didn't look confused. It didn't look tired. It looked aware. More aware than she had ever felt in her life. She opened the photo details. Same device. Same phone. No edits. No transfers. Nothing that could explain it. That night, she didn't sleep. She sat in bed, lights off, phone in her hand, watching the room, waiting, telling herself that nothing would happen, that she would stay awake and prove it. The clock moved slowly. 2:30, 2:41, 2:46. At 2:47, something changed. It wasn't dramatic. No sound, no movement, just a feeling, a shift, like something inside her paused. Not sleep, not unconsciousness, just absence. A small gap, a moment where she wasn't fully there. And then, passed. She inhaled sharply and looked around. Everything was the same. The room hadn't changed. Nothing moved. She grabbed her phone, opened the gallery, and felt her stomach drop. There was a new photo, taken seconds ago. She opened it. This time she was standing, in the middle of the room, holding the phone, pointing it at herself. Her fingers looked steady, too steady. Her posture was straight, controlled, and her face was different, not distorted, not unnatural, just focused, calm, like she knew exactly what she was doing. She zoomed in slowly. Her eyes were sharp, not tired, not confused, locked onto something, but not the camera, slightly above it, like she was looking past it, something else, or someone else. She felt a cold wave move through her body, because that meant one thing. In that moment, she wasn't alone, but not in the way she first thought. She looked at the previous photos again. Now they felt different, more deliberate, more precise. each one placed, each one captured at the exact moment. Not random, not accidental, planned. She sat down slowly, trying to understand, trying to find something that made sense. And then it did. Not all at once, but enough. This wasn't something entering the room. Nothing external. No intruder. No presence. The camera never lied. Everything came from her phone, from her hands, from her position, which meant it was always her, just not the version of her she remembered. There was a pattern, a part of her that appeared at the same time, every night, precise, aware, in control, a part that observed, adjusted, captured, and then left, without leaving a memory. She realized something else. That version of her didn't look confused, didn't hesitate, didn't question anything. It moved with purpose, like it understood something she didn't, like it had clarity, while she only had fragments. And maybe that was the real problem. Not that she was losing control, but that control was never fully hers. That something inside her only needed her to disappear for a few seconds. And that was enough. Enough to move, enough to act, enough to exist, without interruption. She looked at the last photo again, her own face staring forward, eyes focused above the camera, checking, confirming, as if making sure that everything was still exactly where it needed to be. She locked the phone slowly, but didn't move, because one thought stayed with her, clear, unavoidable. If that version of her was aware, then it knew she had seen the photos. And if it knew that, then tonight wouldn't be the same, because now, she wasn't the only one watching anymore.